Hello, you're watching News Mongolian MNB World. I'm your host, Ayundalir Wasanko. Our top stories: 2,409 COVID-19 cases and 14 additional deaths reported. Mongolian men's national freestyle wrestling team finishes in 6th place at the World Championships in Oslo. The Mongolian-Russian Selenge-2021 joint field military drill completed. For other news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Health reported that 2,409 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed today and 14 people have died.
The Ministry of Health today, October 6th, has reported that 2,409 new coronavirus cases were detected in the past 24 hours after tests were carried out at PCR laboratories across the country, and 7,813 patients who were being treated recovered within the past 24 hours. Unfortunately, 14 people died due to COVID-19 complications. All new cases are of domestic transmission, 1,316 out of which were confirmed in Ulaanbaatar, and the remaining 1,092 were confirmed in the provinces. 22,158 COVID-19 patients are being treated at hospitals nationwide. Additionally, about 55,363 patients are being treated at home. Among the 22,158 COVID-19 patients being treated at hospitals nationwide, 13,227 are showing mild symptoms of illness and 346 are in critical condition. Currently in Mongolia, 2,252,136 people have received their first COVID-19 vaccine dose nationwide, and 2,131,978 people have received a second dose of a vaccine.
The consumption of domestic products should start with soap and paper towels. The state started paying special attention to meeting its needs with domestic products.
All soap used in Mongolia should come only from local producers. This will be a great support for our light industry, especially for soap and cosmetics manufacturers.
The maximum price for domestically produced soap is 5,000 tugriks, but a decrease in price due to competition is a possibility. Homemade soaps tend to have a higher fat content than organic soaps. The main criterion for participation in the tender is a low price. As a result, manufacturers have to compete with cheaper products. For example, some clothing manufacturers are reluctant to bid for government contracts because competition for garments leads to the supply of substandard goods at unsustainably low prices.
Tenders come with a lot of costs. It is unknown whether the manufacturer will win or not. Competition for a lower price often related to the quality.
Manufacturers said that in addition to competing for a lower price, it would be more expensive to send products away for testing. However, manufacturers welcomed the fact that the public procurement tender has been extended for a further 3 years and will cover many companies. This year, the Public Procurement Agency is organizing procurement for 482.7 billion tugriks, covering 162 projects.
Tenders for domestically produced products that meet quality standards compared to imported products are not announced. Legislation requires that products that meet standards are purchased only domestically, and purchases are organized accordingly.
Since 2015, the government has pursued a policy of supporting domestic production through procurement. In this context, 100% of domestic companies participate in tenders held by the State Procurement Agency. However, if the purchase price exceeds 10 billion MNT, foreign companies have the opportunity to participate as well.
Now let's take a look at a story from our MNB reporter in the United States. Dondogdor Chu graduated from Romania with a degree in furniture manufacturing, and his wife Tol came to the United States more than a decade ago, where they founded their own construction company, D&D. When starting a business, it is important to have sound knowledge in your field. Therefore, Dondogdor started his business having worked for over 10 years in the American construction industry.
The first step in starting this business is to obtain a license in this country to open a construction company. This is why it was very difficult for me to get started. Due to the fact that I did not know the language very well, I had to overcome many difficulties and pass some exams. So I gained some work experience and started working under special C permit.
To run a construction business, you must first be able to do work that will be accepted in this market. We have been studying that for about 10 years to master it. In the United States, people often choose to apply for a bank loan through a real estate agent. It's fast, but you have to pay interest to the bank for 20 to 30 years. However, the purchase of a house foreclosed by a bank for cash is much better. It takes 5 to 6 months to repair such building. It is better than paying the bank interest. It is possible to purchase real estate with 30 to 50% discount compared to the market price. This house is about 100 years old, and everything that was old was demolished. We only left the facade and, according to the drawing, turned it into a modern house. In general, there are houses that can be renovated, but we choose the cheapest houses that are no longer inhabited because we are demolishing and rebuilding just about everything.
The number of Mongolian construction companies in the United States is growing every year. Therefore, Tandakdar said that if they can combine their businesses, they can compete in this large market.
Thank you for staying tuned with us. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. On the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the People's Revolution, the 100th anniversary of the modern armed forces, and the 100th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Russia, a joint military exercise called Selenge-2021 was organized and was attended by the armed forces of both countries. This year's military drill was organized under the theme Joint Counterterrorism Operation and was a significant step forward towards strengthening military anti-terrorism cooperation between the two countries' armed forces. More than 1,600 Mongolian and Russian soldiers participated in the Selenge-2021 field exercise with more than 300 combat vehicles, equipment, and 8 Mi-24 helicopters. The purpose of this exercise is to expand military cooperation between the two countries' armed forces, exchange experience in organizing joint counterterrorism operations, and improve the management, interaction, and all-around training of commanders and staff in the fight against illegal armed groups. Now let's check on the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Following this, let's tune in for our regular feature on sports.
At the Oslo 2021 World Wrestling Championships, the Mongolian men's team finished 6th with 56 points and qualified for the next year's World Cup. Russia, the United States and Iran each lead the way with 3 gold medals. In the 70 kg weight category, Magomed Murat Gadzhiev of Poland won a gold medal in the middle of the 3 major wrestling powers. Yesterday, on the 4th day of the World Wrestling Championships, the women's 50, 53, 65 and 76 kg weight category semi-finals ended that the names of the finalists were announced. Atganjargal and Zagar Dotlam from Mongolia will compete today. However, the wrestlers who were defeated, the Olympic and World Cup bronze medalist Baldur Toya and young athlete Inchchen, did not make it to the final, so they moved to the spectator seat. The esports team Positive Gaming traveled to Istanbul, Turkey to train in June this year. They've competed with the best teams in Europe over the past 90 days and are in the top 10 of the world. In addition, 3 players of the team are included in the list of the top 100 players in the world. The list of the world's top 10 teams is updated every 3 months. The Positive Gaming team played more than 1,500 games as a team, winning 92% of the time. Their next goal is to compete in world competitions, and they are preparing for the major competitions in Asia in 2022. Mobile Legends, played by the team, is a mobile game with more than 100 million players worldwide, and the game's World Championship is held every year, and this year's prize fund is 3 billion MNT. The team, which has been in existence for only 2 years, is the best team in Mongolia in the Mobile Legends game and has won 7 domestic competitions in the past 6 months. This is the first time that they have a training facility abroad for immobile esports. The Mongolian Volleyball Federation's National Premier League Championship will start on October 19th. Permission to host the competition, which was postponed due to the pandemic, was granted by the National Emergency Commission and will be held without spectators. The competition will take place from October 19th to December 25th. A meeting of the owners, coaches and captains of the teams participating in the National Premier League Championship will be held at the Mongolian National Olympic Committee on October 6 at 6 p.m. according to the Mongolian National Volleyball Federation.
And here's the weather forecast for major cities around the world. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for staying with us on News Mongolia. See you tomorrow with more stories and updates. Please follow MNB World on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great evening. Goodbye.